Hi, everyone. Welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. If you can hear me, would you give me a thumbs up this eclipse afternoon? Thumbs up. I can barely see the comments. I'm doing this outside, so we have an unusual location here. Can anyone hear me? Thumbs up if you can. Oh, good. I see some thumbs up. So you can see me and hear me. Now, can you see the sun in the background? That's the whole point of doing this outdoors. In Presque Isle, Maine, where I'm located, there is, okay, I see, you can hear me, that's right. Yep, I've got the sun in the background. At 2:22 in 4 minutes, the partial eclipse starts here in Presque Isle, Maine. And I wanted to have the sun in the background, and I'll just be talking along here in the foreground. And we're going to do this, folks. But I didn't have any windows that actually face the sun, so a setup outside was important. So you'll be able to watch the eclipse happen here in one of the northernmost cities in the United States of America. The town of Caribou is next in line for the eclipse. They're 15 miles north of us. And yeah, I'm using a headset to kind of keep the wind noise down to a minimum. Good. I'm glad it looks and sounds good. So there is background neighborhood noises. You'll just, we're live. This is not a studio, so we're going to roll with it. Okay. Oh, I'm excited. You wouldn't believe how nerve-wracking this has been getting set up for this. And I'll have to keep turning the screen so that you can see the sun. But this way, you're here for the eclipse, and we'll have it recorded for posterity. Okay, I have a number of items I wanted to share with you today while the eclipse is going on. But first of all, since we're not quite in the eclipse at this point, I had promised you we would do a tarot read about our world before and after the eclipse. So I want to do that. So this will be the before read. It'll be a Kachina knife spread. And we are asking the universe for insights and information about what our world looks like pre-eclipse, this solar eclipse, for the purposes of comparing shortly when we have the post situation going on. Okay, so I'm going to work with the cards here. I'll try to turn it down real quick so you can see the spread, but I'll just announce it as I go, and then you can get a screenshot of it. And I've got the some poster putty ready so that we can leave this up until after we do the post read. So I'll be using 2 different decks, and then we can do the compare that way and see what changes as the eclipse happens in our world. Okay, so I've been shuffling, which I always let you see, but today it's just not going to work out because the sun is the star, and it truly is a star. Okay, so I've divided them in 3. Situation card for the world right now, we have the 5 of Swords. Clarifying that a little more, we have the Devil card. Recent past, we have the Death card. Wow. Talk about getting information, huh? The current card, we have Justice. How about that, folks? 3 major arcanas out of 4 already, telling us about our current world. Near future, we have the Hierophant. Information, we have the Tower. Oh, so the post has to be better than this. And Knight of Swords, one of my White Hat Alliance cards. Okay, now I am going to put the rest of the cards. Oh, I did have, let me go 1, I'm going to leave those out. Talking as I go here. Okay. I'm going to try to let you see the table where I've got the cards, and I'll just be talking about them. Let me get the sun back in the picture. Okay. Because it is 2:22, so the partial eclipse should be starting. Okay, so the situation we have right now, first of all, the Five of Swords tells us that we're in a temporary situation. And the Devil card kind of describes our world a little more, that there's just been a lot of people giving into temptation and making poor choices. And so that's what we got for right now for our current world. We have the Death card in the recent past. So remember, Death card just means that there's a long, slow change in process. So that was our recent past card. And in the present, we have the Justice card showing up. Near future, something involving the near future. And I had let the cards know that I just wanted very near future because we'd be doing a read about the post. We have the Tower card giving us some information in the Hierophant. So what I'm seeing is, yeah, there were some shenanigans planned. And a Tower moment may happen, but it might not be quite as visible as we thought it would be because of actions by the White Hats, the White Hearts, the Alliance. And that's this. So that's what we have right now. This is a pivotal time. I do know that the changes that will happen in the course of this eclipse in the next few days are going to be visible. That's why we wanted to ask the tarot cards about that and see. Okay, can you see how the sun is starting to have a partial shading? Thank you, everybody, for being here for a very amateur production. I do appreciate that. And I will be stepping out of camera range for just a minute. Oh, we had the 4 other cards. Let's see what those were. Okay. Telling us a little more, we have the Ace, kind of reassuring us that things in the near future, things are going to get much better. I like seeing that. Next up, another Ace for the near future. You don't even need to do a second read for a post, do you? Already. Then we have another Ace, the Ace of Cups. Oh, guys, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the final card, least impactful, is the Seven of Wands, near future. So there's going to be a lot of events. Pivotal, we've been told 3 times that with 3 aces, that it's going to be, the future is going to be much brighter than the past has been. Because for the past, we have the Death card showing up, Justice, the Devil, and just a beautiful read. If anybody ever thinks that tarot cards don't speak to us, as long as you approach it prayerfully, they are sadly mistaken. And I did approach this in all reads prayerfully, just so you know. Okay, as the partial eclipse continues, you are welcome to chat with our moderators. I won't be able to at this point. I'll read it later. You can chat amongst yourselves. You can turn the volume off if you want to and just enjoy the view of the sun going into eclipse. Okay, but I did have a few things that I wanted to just read as we're going along today. First of all, though, I want to cover these cards up so they don't get blown away. So I have my after read poster board covering up the one we just did, which was really unique. And I'd like to get a picture of that to kind of reference it as we do the next one. The full eclipse happens here at 3:33 in the afternoon. So it takes almost 50 some minutes to manifest in full. And sometime after 4 o'clock, it will be completely finished. And I'm planning to stay out here till about 4 o'clock, maybe 4:15. The important thing was to let you see a presque isle eye view of the eclipse. Okay, taking a picture of those cards. Another one just in case. And so we continue. The gems I brought out with me to hold things down, besides my C-clamps, I have a fool's gold, iron pyrite heart, a Herkimer diamond, and just a large piece of hematite. Okay, so we've got the eclipse happening in the background. I'll start sharing some of the things I chose to share with you today during the eclipse. Again, you are more than welcome to just turn the volume off and have the recording. This is Laura with Laura's View and Tarot 2 if you're just now joining us. This is our eclipse watch party. I was fortunate to live in one of the areas that'll have totality, and we have set up outdoors to take full advantage of the sun and the eclipse as it happens. One of our viewers, Barra in Germany, shared with me some of the Navajo American Indian beliefs about the eclipse. Okay. This is their traditional teachings, and it says, in our traditional ways, the eclipse is a very reverent time, a time for reflection, rebirth, new life, new understanding. An eclipse is called the death of the sun. During this time, traditionally, people would sit indoors and refrain from eating and drinking. Some would pray or sing songs. Traditionally, our people would not look at the eclipse. They were told that they could get sick or go blind. Nowadays, people look and celebrate. While our Dine don't expect people to observe the same traditions, it would still be a good time to be reverent and focus on a rebirth and new life. I absolutely agree with that. We saw with the tarot read I just did. I've never had that many major arcana show up or that many aces all combined in a read to tell us this is an important event, an important time in human history. So let's take time. We're going to be reverent and be thoughtful about this time. And let's picture our beautiful earth having the best possible outcome as we go into dark here and then from dark to light. This morning, as I was saying some of my prayers with my best friend, one of the things I prayed today was that anyone who is working for good, for light, for positive outcomes for mankind, they be more successful than they ever dreamed possible. And that may the plans of darkness or evil just be absolute, total, abject failures. May those who work and manifest to help our world change from dark to light, may they be encouraged, may they be determined, and may they just feel love and protection and the worthiness of this goal. I have another thing that I wanted to share with you folks. I got this from Twitter, platform formerly known as X, or flip that, formerly known as Twitter. It's opening slowly, but it is opening. Okay, I'm still waiting for it to open up, folks, here. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but I'll tell you who the content creator is. And if you want to share, read the rest of it yourself, you can. Okay, it's from Jack Straw, and it's about the eclipse for today. He talked about how the path of the eclipse will cross through 8 cities in the United States that are named Nineveh, and how in 2017 the path had crossed through other cities that had heavenly type names. Now, I'm not going to get into, like I said, the whole thing that he has here, but I did want to share this because he lists some of the things that people are fearful about, and we don't want to focus on that. Okay. He says, there are a whole lot of clickbait headlines for predictive programming for this solar eclipse, starting with the reactivation of CERN. However, this is a repeat episode. They tried to spook the people before back in July 2022. Remember, the broadcasting spells from the Mockingbird media. If enough unaware humans believe them, it will actually manifest their goals. Clickbait headlines are designed to charge humans' low emotional states, to siphon their loose energy by unseen, negative, parasitic entities, and to manifest the very things they do not want. That's why we're going to focus on the positive here and how the plans of evil are just fizzling as we speak. Anyway, that's my comment, going on back to what he wrote. Do not feed into it. Do not feed the beast. We're witnessing a very desperate cabal. The old rulers are losing power, and they are causing self-destruction from within. Yay! The war on the general public is very real. It is coming at the people from all angles, in all industries, happening in all countries. Infrastructure damages, food facilities, farms, borders, migrant agendas, chemical contamination, fires, direct energy weapons, weather warfare, chemtrails, lawfare, hyperinflation, etc. are all attacks on all fronts. Are they planning for some big event with massive human casualties for April 8th as a mass sacrifice? Most likely, yes. It will be the same play for April 8th. Seek and destroy whatever is possible. Are the threats real? Is the war real? Is humanity and Earth under attack? Are there real human casualties? Yes. Will there be a mass false flag event by the cabal? Now, he says yes. I think they're going to try. But then he goes on to say, will they succeed? That depends on the human collective consciousness. As of now, in our current collective timeline, the chances of a mass destruction on humanity is next to zero. However, smaller pockets of destruction and casualties are taking place. Know your enemy. Be aware of the matrix corporations that are complicit and aligned with the old system agendas going against humanity. Stop supporting them financially and energetically. We also have military assistance. The Earth Alliance, White Hats, and Space Force are watching, and any black operations will be thwarted and met with countermeasures. The deep state minions are desperate, with limited resources and options. Their power is dwindling while humanity is reclaiming its divine powers back. This is why sovereign human beings must understand and become skillful masters in energy, to step into our divinity and take dominion of our space-time reality in our land, air, and water. Law, L-A-W. Sovereign mentality, self-reliance, self-sustainability, and community support must be self-realized. Faith must turn into knowing. Knowing must be practiced for the embodiment of the angelic human being. Remember your quantum abilities and what quantum entanglement is. Remember how mass meditation on a focused subject matter can have a major physical impact. And folks, we've seen that with just the little meditations I do. We've had an impact on our world. The key is to be calm, balanced, healthy, energized, and fearless. We are the countermeasure. We will continue to hold space and emit a frequency that cannot be disturbed. On the day of the solar eclipse, which is today, do not give your energy outwards. There's no need to focus on the outside. An eclipse is literally blocking access to the outer world. Do as the eclipse. Close and lock your energy and stay within. Or share it amongst ourselves here, those who are focused on the light. That was my comment. We are still dwelling in resurrection energy. Use this beautiful, potent energy to rise within yourself. One of the greatest and most important challenges is to maintain a focused point of awareness within your solar power center. In doing so, you will maintain an open passage into the sacred heart, thereby allowing the creator light to flow freely and to and from you. This, in turn, assists you to enhance and perfect your uniquely beautiful, harmonious soul song. During these wondrous yet trying times, you are being given a grand opportunity to tap into the cosmic library, which holds the mysteries of the universe. You are gradually becoming equipped to tap into your sacred temple, where the universal laws and wisdom of the ages are stored. In doing so, you will learn that you can traverse any height, surmount any obstacle, and your path of ascension will be revealed with certainty. Okay. All right, I have a question for people watching. Have I still got the screen on the sun? Would you please confirm that for me? Thumb up if you can see the sun and the eclipse happening. Thank you for the thumb up. Thank you, thank you. Okay. All right. So that was from Jack Straw on Twitter. Now I'm going to share some eclipse facts. This is from, I believe, astronomy.com. 25 solar eclipse facts. 1. This will be the first total solar eclipse. Hang on, another window opened up here. In the continental United States in 7 years. 2. A solar eclipse occurs when the sun, the moon, and earth are aligned or in syzygy. 3. A solar eclipse only happens at new moon. 4. Solar eclipses don't occur at every new moon, but they do happen regularly, about once a year, if I remember right. 5. Eclipse totalities are different lengths. The one today for Presque Isle, Maine will be just in excess of 3 minutes. 6. It's all about magnitude and obscuration. I'm going to read a little more about that. Astronomers categorize each solar eclipse in terms of its magnitude and obscuration, and I don't want you to be confused when you encounter those terms. The magnitude of a solar eclipse is the percent of the sun's diameter that the moon covers during maximum eclipse. The obscuration is the percent of the sun's total area covered at maximum. Here's an example. If the moon covers half the sun's diameter, in this case magnitude equals 50%, the amount of obscuration, the area of the sun's disk the moon blots out, will only be 39.1%. 7. Solar eclipses occur between Saros cycles. Similar solar and lunar eclipses recur every 6.585.3 days. or 6,585.3 days. 18 years, 11 days, 8 hours. Scientists call this length of time a Saros cycle. Two eclipses separated by one Saros cycle are similar. They occur at the same node. The moon's distance from Earth is nearly the same time of year. 8. Everyone in the continental U.S. will see at least a partial eclipse today. So we lucked out, guys. Number 9. It's all about totality, and that's one of the reasons that I did this live stream outside. Okay. Number 10. You want to be on the center line. I'm close. I wasn't going to try to do this away from home. This way I'm hooked up to internet, electricity, and what have you. So I'm really close. It's not ideal, but it's really close. Okay. The first contact is in Texas. Okay. If you want to be the first person to experience totality in the continental U.S., you're going to be at the Mexican border at La Quinta Fronteras, Texas, at 1:27 their time. Okay. And then the center line crosses through 15 states. Okay. One of them is Maine, where I am making this live stream. Okay. 13. Totality lasts a maximum of 4 minutes and 28 seconds. According to timeanddate.com, where I got my information about Presque Isle, Maine, like I said, our totality is going to start at approximately 3:33 at a few seconds and last just over 3 minutes. The end of the eclipse for the U.S. is in Maine. So we'll be here for the tail end of the eclipse. And then it'll be a great time to see if the eclipse is manifesting any changes. Number 15. Okay. According to this, it says cool things are afoot before and after totality. Although the big payoff is the exact lineup of the sun, the moon, and your location, pay attention to during the partial phase that lead up to and follow totality. As you view the early stages through a safe solar filter, the universe will set your mind at ease when you see the moon take its first bite out of the sun's disk, which you've already seen. Okay. Around the 3/4 mark, you'll start to notice that the shadows around you are getting sharper. The reason is that the sun's disk is shrinking, literally approaching a point, and a smaller light source produces better defined shadows. At about 85% coverage, you'll be able to spot Venus, which will be 15 degrees west southwest of the sun. If any trees are at your sight, you may see their leaves act like simple pinhole cameras with hundreds of crescent suns appearing in their shadows, which is really, really cool. Okay, I'm trying to see some of the comments here. I see chit chat. Just let me know again. Do I need to move my camera at all? Is the eclipse still on? I don't care if you only see the top of my head, that's fine. I am not the reason for this video. So thumbs up if you can still see the eclipse happening in the background here. And I do have a 1 second delay, so I know it takes a minute for me to see things. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you, please. Thank you, folks. Okay. Love it. Okay, keep chatting amongst yourselves. Okay, now I'm going to ask for a different thumbs up situation, so I'm going to wait for all the thumbs up to stop. Obviously, if you're answering my question, you can hear me, but just a double thumbs up if the microphone is working well and you can hear what I'm saying. A double thumbs up if you can hear me and the microphone's working as I hope. The headset. I see 2. I see a bunch. 2. Good. Thank you, folks. That's reassuring. Okay, I'm going to continue reading the 25 eclipse facts. Number 16, this eclipse will be the most viewed ever. Now, the author based that proclamation on 4 factors. First, the attention it gets from the media. Second, the super coverage of the highway system in our country. Third, the typical weather for this state. And fourth, the vast number of people who have access to it from larger cities located near the eclipse path. Okay, 17, several large cities will enjoy a great view. Unlike the 2017 eclipse, which covered only one large city, Nashville, the 2024 event will will plunge several major metropolitan centers into darkness. Many completely lie along the path, while others will have a large percentage of their areas covered. Among them are Mazatlan, Mexico, San Antonio, Austin, Fort Worth, and Dallas, Texas, Indianapolis, Indiana, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland, Ohio, and Buffalo, New York. Number 18, tens of millions of people live in the eclipse path. In 2017, approximately 12.25 million residents of the U.S. lived along the path of totality. In 2024, more than that number live along the path before the eclipse even exits Texas. In all, approximately 315 million. Let me check for a decimal point here. 31.5 billion. People can simply walk outside, look up, and see a totally eclipsed sun in the daytime sky during the 2024 eclipse, weather permitting, of course. And again, as I previously said, everyone in America is going to be able to view at least a partial, in continental US, will be able to view at least a partial eclipse. 19, totality is safe to look at. During the time the moon's disk covers the sun, and only then, it's safe to look at the eclipse without a solar filter or eclipse glasses. In fact, to experience the awesomeness of the event, you must look at the sun without a filter during totality. Number 20, yes, the sun's a lot bigger, but it's also a lot farther away. The sun's diameter is approximately 400 times larger than that of the moon. What a coincidence that it also lies roughly 400 times further away, or so they say. 21, you won't need a telescope to view this eclipse, as we're seeing right now. Number 22, nature will take heed. One of the great things about the total phase of the solar eclipse is that it looks amazing to naked eyes. The side of the corona surrounding the moon's black disk is darkened in a darkened sky is unforgettable. That said, binoculars at relatively low power will give you a close-up view, the one you should take advantage of several times during the event. Number 23. Oh, by the way, where it said nature will take heed, Alieska, my cat, has been acting a little strangely today. She is acting very skittish and spending time under furniture for the slightest reason. So she senses something going on. And I don't know in the comments if you're noticing that from your pets or wildlife near you, or if you live where there's livestock and you've noticed something, please share that with us. It'd be interesting to find out. But again, Alieska all day long has been acting just easily spooked. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, diving under furniture for the slightest cause when normally she wouldn't do a thing. Okay. Number 23 on my list of 25 facts about the eclipse. Maximum totality is not the longest possible in 2024. The longest possible duration of the total phase of a solar eclipse is 7 minutes, 32 seconds. Unfortunately, the next solar eclipse with a totality approaching 7 minutes won't occur until June 13th, 2132. I don't know if I'll be there. Definitely not in this body unless I do some good upgrades to it. That eclipse with a maximum duration of 6 minutes, 55 seconds will be the longest since the 7 minute, 4 seconds of totality experienced on June 30th, 1973. 24. The future is bright but long. The next total solar eclipse over the continental United States requires a 20-year wait until August 23rd, 2044. That one is visible only in Montana and North Dakota. Great total solar eclipses follow in 2045 and 2078. Those events have maximum totalities of 6 minutes, 6 seconds, and 5 minutes, 40 seconds, respectively. Fact 25. This eclipse will happen today, April 8th, 2024, as we know and are experiencing right now. Okay, so if you did gather from that, it is okay to look at the sun during totality without eclipse glasses. In fact, that's the best way to see it. If you have some low level binoculars, you can get an even better close up view during totality. During totality, you may be able to view the following: Saturn, lower in the sky and to the right of the eclipse. Okay, then Venus, lower to the sky and kind of midway between where Saturn was and the eclipsed view. Mercury may be visible, which will be just north and to the west of Earth. And then Jupiter, farther to the west and north. And then a variable that it may be in play today, but is planning to be around for a while, is the comet, the Pons-Brooks comet. Okay, I'm going to check in with the Sherman resonance right now and see if there's anything noteworthy to share with you. It was very calm earlier today, very, very calm. And still seems to be calm right now. Lots of blue, just some green. It's almost like the Earth is holding its breath, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Now, I'm also checking in, and you can at home on your own device at www.sol24.net, SOL24.net, and see what's going on with the sun. Okay. According to Sol24.net, right now there are no geomagnetic storms in process. There is no radiation storm in process, and there is currently no radio blackout going on. So very calm on the solar front. We may revisit that and see. Yesterday on Era of Light, I read an article titled Final Chapter in the Matrix. I'd like to share it with you. Greetings from heart to heart in this moment we speak. I am Kurjaj. If I said that wrong, I apologize. Why would anyone want to engage in dark rituals and create extremely low vibrational events? This is a question that I've heard many ask, in particular the newly informed people relating to the Cabal's games in history. There are many answers to such questions. However, in this case, imagine you've been told that you belong to a bloodline of entities who believe that they are separate from Source, which is our divine creator, and are in service to some dark masters who believe that they have conquered the light. Now, the more chaos and fear you are able to generate, the more pleased those otherworldly dark masters are with you and may offer you a place among them in due time. This is what their minions on Earth are told. It is these agents of the dark, running rampant on Earth for thousands of years, who have set their intentions on opening portals to other dimensions and inviting their overlords and their followers to come through. They will be using the energies of the solar eclipse and attempt this again as they did in 2017. I'm going to stop there and just remind you that our near future cards, we had 3 aces, which is thumbs up, we're successful, nothing to worry about. Continuing with the article. These entities on Earth want to perceive the evil they believe in with their physical eyes because they are unable to see it with their third eye, and bring that new level of darkness to Earth, thus shifting the vibrational frequency of the planet. That's what they're attempting to do at CERN, or they were hoping to do at CERN. As the Earth and humanity take their place in the fifth dimensional plane, the third dimension, a playground of the duality games, is gradually dissolving. Yay! This leaves the dark players without a field and no lower vibrational energies to feast on. Also, yay. What they are attempting will be unsuccessful. For one, it's against universal law. Two, it's simply not tolerated by the higher councils of light. While the Galactic Federation always monitors the situation on Earth and has intervened countless of times in similar and other types of events relating to the process. Destructive is their nature of these agents who give orders to the so-called scientists at CERN, misled and lost souls, in hopes of opening portals and allowing dark spirits to enter the third dimensional plane of the Earth. For they know what is transpiring at this time is bringing their end, and of all that which they have invested to enslave humanity. You are the final chapter of humanity's story in the Matrix. This is not the end of you as a collective. Chaos will expand as the dense energies are being transmuted. You will see more manipulation and the dark's puppets growing more desperate as we see it time and again. That was my comment. So we ask you to try not to give into the fear. Know that you have legions of angels on your side, some in crafts and others in wings, which light bodies. These are the signs that you are much closer to transitioning into a new realm of true freedom and abundance for all. Open your heart and allow light to flow within you into the world, for your heart center is a portal itself. I'm going to read that again. Your heart center is a portal itself. Isn't that great? Open your heart and allow light, love to flow from within you into the world, for your heart center is a portal itself. You are spiritual beings with unimaginable power, all the light to you. So that's the end of that article. Again, that was from eraoflight.com. The title was Final Chapter in the Matrix. Someone's telling me to turn around. Okay, I could only glimpse briefly because I didn't bring Eclipse glasses. I do have regular sunglasses here. Wow. Okay. Got a weekly forecast here, dated April 8th to the 14th, from Joni Patry, astrologer. I'm going to read part of it to us so she can just see what may be transpiring. Now, her horoscope for April 8th, total solar 25 degrees, 12 minutes, Pisces, Ravati. This solar eclipse marks a turning point in this year. There will be extremes and weather and social uprisings on an emotional level globally. There will be many earth changes concerning earthquakes and volcanic eruptions around this time. The world is changing dramatically, but these events are leading us through the dark tunnel to get to the other side of a new and better world. So it's nice that someone from a totally different discipline and perspective also sees that we are going from dark to light. Now, tomorrow, the forecast is, as Mercury enters Pisces and it is still retrograde, people will seem to be losing their minds. They cannot remember things, and many plans are fouled up due to miscommunications and people not paying attention to details. I have some people in my life that's a daily event. That's not a April 9th one. This marks a time of difficulty with travel and communications. Be careful of forgetfulness and unnecessary mistakes due to absent-mindedness. Her forecast for April 10th, when Mars conjuncts Saturn 20 degrees Aquarius. This is a very intense aspect and causes major calamities such as setbacks, delays, and big problems in societies. Be aware things may not be as they appear, as there can be deep corruption and outright lying. This is a time when the dark meets the light, and explosive events will occur involving anger, disruption, and violence. So, this is for the 10th. She sees a possibility for some mayhem. There is great danger with this aspect today. Lay low and don't begin new projects. This harsh energy will cause many disruptions, endings, violence, and even death. So she does see issues for Wednesday, which we can counter with manifesting and envisioning a much brighter April 10th. And also exercise some of that self awareness and situational awareness and make sure, knowing that we're in a period of upheaval for our world, that it's always wise to choose wisely where you go and when you go and who you go places with and know your exits. And if your gut is telling you that it's not a good day to go to the mall, don't go to the mall. Okay. But in the meantime, there's things your gut's not going to warn you about. Blow some bubbles. I did with my grandson yesterday. So much fun. April 11th, Mars aspect Ketu, 8th aspect, 21st. Okay, so her forecast for, again, these are Joni Patri's newsletter, her horoscope and predictions for the upcoming days. April 11th, she says, this is a critical aspect that can involve accidents and possible problems involving ill health. It is time to take care of yourself, watch over your diet, and begin a regimen to get healthy. Do not be impulsive or impatient. Take it easy, take it slow, and be extra cautious when driving. Violence can upset the world in many ways today. Again, because we're moving into a new age, it's the death throes for the cabal, for evil. Okay, so when someone is in pain and they're passing away, they do tend to lash out, and that is what's happening with evil. On the 13th, Joni Patrick says, happy birthday to all the people born with the sun in Aries. The sun is exalted in Aries, meaning it is in its favorite and strongest sign to exude its light and energy. This is a time for new beginnings and awakenings. It is a time to become inspired, learn new things, and make plans for the future. Begin new projects with the sun in Aries to ensure success. Okay, according to what I'm seeing behind my left shoulder, you should have a good view of the sun. Would you give me a one thumb up if I'm right, that you can still see and it's framed well to see the eclipse going on? A one thumb up. I'm seeing some ones and then one thumb up. Good. Okay. Some of you are very literal. I love that. I just meant a single solitary thumb up in case I had a second follow up question that I wanted multiple thumbs up for. Oh, I love you folks. Okay, the time is now 3:06. We're about 25 minutes away from totality. When we get into the time period for totality here in Presque Isle, Maine, I do plan to just be silent and, as I said, reverent. So don't think there's a problem with your volume, either a minute before, the minutes of, or a minute after the eclipse, because I plan to just be picturing as this eclipse concludes, which will be slow, it takes almost an hour, that it is a metaphor for our world going dark to light. And that whatever's been happening in our world in the background that caused that crazy lineup of cards a while ago, that it is just successful beyond any light-filled purposes, wildest hope. If you're just joining us, this is Laura's View and Tarot 2. It's our Eclipse watch party here in Presque Isle, Maine. While we've been in the background behind me, because the star of the show is our sun and the eclipse, that's the focus. I've been sharing a few things, facts about the eclipse and things going on. We took a look at the Schumann resonance, which is very, very calm right now. There's no unusual activity going on with the Schumann resonance. We looked at soul24.net, and there are no solar storms in evidence or process right now. There's no radio issues. I know we had thought that there was at least a chance of some outages for our communications during this eclipse, and that doesn't seem to be happening. So I thank you all for joining us very, very much. Thank you for being here. Again, if you're new to Laura's View and Tarot 2, several times a week we get together and look at current events or items that deal with our ascension as a human collective, as humanity. And we, when it's a current event, we also look at some hard data points before we get into tarot insights. So I usually refer to that as us being with our feet on the ground with some hard data. And then we put our heads in clouds and we allow the universe to give us some additional insights and information. I'd like to take this time to talk a little bit about how I use the tarot cards. I use them only as an intuitive aid, period. I do not channel in the sense of the word. I do not open myself up to any kind of communication or possession or anything that could remain with me against my will later. So I always pray that the intuitive nudges I get using the tarot cards, those nudges or insights come from our loving creator or my higher self. I figure between those two sources, I've got it covered. And again, with total safety to my soul, my being, my integrity. So I know that tarot cards have a background, and I know that they are frequently a tool that is used in witchcraft. I do not practice witchcraft. I have a small intuitive gift, and I use the tarot cards as an intuitive aid. That's the sum of it, folks, if you're new to tarot. Yes, I was told that tarot is evil, but like so many things, it's how it's used and the purpose for which it's used, or the way in which it's used. By the way, if the things I tell you about tarot interest you in any way, I have to share with you that when I was honing my skills to start the channel, I paid for instruction, and I was appalled at what people charge for introductory tarot instruction, because it's like any kind of an interest or hobby, you may find that it doesn't work for you, or it doesn't work as well as you intended or hoped, and you don't need to be shelling out a lot of hard-earned money discovering that. So on my YouTube channel, Laura's View and Tarot 2, if you click on the link that says playlist, there's only one playlist there. It's called Tarot 101, Part 1, Part 2. There's 2 videos. Each of them takes slightly less than a half hour. And I designed those as a former teacher. I knew that if you were wanting to learn how to use tarot cards, you'd want to be actually using them. So Tarot 101, Part 1, by the end of the half hour, you should have the instruction to know, A, how to protect your energy and to get ready to use the cards in a very safe way, and be able to give yourself, ask some questions with tarot cards using a 3-card draw, which I have to admit, for most of my life, 3 cards was sufficient. I would get my answer, card 1. I'd get a little clarifying information if necessary out of card 2. And card 3 would be general advice or possible outcome. Boom. Now, Tarot 101, Part 2, is going to describe the Kachina knife spread that is often used in my videos. The reason it's used is, first of all, it's versatile. It provides a little more in-depth information. And for an item being used to record via a webcam, it fits in the screen. Whereas some of the longer type of spreads don't all fit in one frame. So the Tarot Part 2 reviews some of those safety practices and emphasizes those because, it's like any power tool, guys. You've got to use it safely. and that means knowing how to use it. So I teach you how to put those tarot goggles on. Stay safe. And then we talk about the Kachina knife spread, what each card, what it's saying. And it's not in-depth instruction, but you should be able to kind of, if nothing else, follow along as I do my tarot videos. But be ready to start doing some Kachina knife spreads for yourself. Another thing I talk about in those videos is the importance of clearing the energy. A lot of times people say, I've used tarot cards and I get the same cards no matter what question I've asked. And the reason that happens is the tarot cards are still kind of preset. It's like being on a radio station that you haven't changed the setting. So you're still tuning into that same question. And there's very easy ways to get a card cleared for a new question. I personally like to use a piece of selenite, which is very inexpensive. It's good for recharging crystals and energy. And but you can just simply take your deck and just tell your deck, I am clearing your energy for a new question. And then you tap the entire deck on all four corners. Kind of figure you're shaking the dust off from that previous question and getting ready for a new one. So there's lots of ways to do it. I'm just telling you a couple. I do the tap and the selenite. And then you'll notice sometimes when I do a live stream, I put out, I think I had 9 decks in my last live stream. And all of them had that done, so they were ready for a question. And I didn't have to worry while I was in the process of doing a live stream. I didn't have to worry about trying to clear the energy and getting it ready for a new question. It is 3:14. We are less than 20 minutes away from totality. If you're interested in seeing what's happening in Presque Isle, Maine, you can go to timeanddate.com and plug in my zip code 04769. Again, that's zip code 04769. And you can follow along there. It will show you the sun, in case you can't see it in the background too well, and some information. Tess, thank you for doing your singing bowls. We are looking for a fantastic outcome. Changes may not be evident to our eyes, a change and a shift in process, but wow. Those cards on that first spread, I'm glad I took a picture of them and I've got them puttied down so we can look at them again if we want to. Yes, my zip code, Ricky, is 04769. We are looking for some big changes in our plane of existence, which is usually how I refer to the world, because I'm not going to get into what shape is it. It's in an improving shape, going from dark to light. That's what it is. Okay. So again, welcome to Laura's View in Tarot 2, our Eclipse watch party. Glad you could make it, folks. And this video will be viewable for you at any future date when you'd like to. If you just click on the tab that says Lives for my channel, and you'll be able to find it and watch it. Thank you, Robin, for more singing bowls. I appreciate that. Guys, we are, again, as we approach totality, which for where I'm at is 3:33, 17 minutes away, I do plan to stop talking and just be silent and use my energy during the total eclipse to picture beautiful change happening in our world. And while beautiful change is happening that helps bring us from dark to light, I'm also going to be picturing shenanigan plans just falling apart. See them pounding keyboards or control boards or whatever, and just having things not work out as they hoped. Okay, this is the last stand for evil. It is, our world is changing for the better. A place of light and safety, and where we will have no horrible things added to our food, our water. Medicines will be about true healing. That's where we're headed, folks. Yeah. The tarot videos I mentioned a while ago, as with all content that I create, I do not charge for it. Absolutely do not charge for it. I will never keep any information apart from people by means of making you subscribe to hear more. I do accept gifts. I appreciate them. You don't have to give me one. And if you give me one, make sure you can afford it. But that's another reason that I don't promote any products. I get offers on a daily basis to do that, or endorse products, and I don't do that. I took to heart when I was learning about the 17 team, and I was first introduced to it by Praying Medic when he was still on YouTube, and he had a couple of really good introductory videos. And I took to heart what they said about distrust those who charge for their information, because that's not what the objective is here for having good changes in our world. So I affirm and repeat that I do not charge for any content I create, and I don't endorse products. I don't offer anything for sale. And this is, I can't say it's totally a love thing, because much to my surprise, when the channel grew, I was eligible to get some of the ad revenue from YouTube. By the way, just so you know, YouTube has changed things. In my videos that I create, I can say no mid-roll videos, and I do. They don't give me that option on live stream, so if after this video has been up for a while, there are ads inserted, I have no say-so about that, none at all. I can't also stop them from doing them at the start or end of, unless I totally demonetize something. I can't keep them from being at the start or end of a video. But the veto power I do have, I exercise for you, and that is that on a video I create, not a live stream, I do not allow mid-roll advertisements. So you can listen to the whole thing and not have to stop for a video advertisement of some sort. Okay, so New York City seeing their partial. It is getting darker. It is getting dusky. This is all natural light. I didn't put up any additional lighting to do this video. It is happening outdoors, and yes, my laptop is hooked up to a power source, but there's no additional lighting. So as it gets dark, that will just be natural light that you are viewing. Okay, Becky, we talked a little bit about CERN, and I read about CERN in a recent video. First of all, for the purposes of any things they were hoping for the eclipse, the white hats are in control. So even if there's some activation there, it's not going to be the result that they had hoped for. So don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to turn around, take a peek at the sky. With the bare eyes, it's not really possible to see much happening. Yeah, white hats are in charge of CERN. And there are enough people that are awake and aware of the purpose of some of this fear-inspiring reporting. We've outgrown it. We don't fall for it anymore. We're not creating nearly as much of that louche energy that evil depended on. Pat yourselves on the back, guys, because we may not be in the trenches, but we're part of that white hat alliance, because we're committed to picturing an improved world situation for the path of humanity, for humans, for the human race. We're not divided into little genders and citizenship in certain countries or anything. We are a human race, and we are about to have our path and potential restored to what it should have been all along. And if you're committed to that and you're putting energy into that and saying, I refuse to live in a fear filled world or a fear filled life, you are a white hat too. Okay. Gail Coling just gave great advice. Stop resisting for a moment and just be. Understand, folks, our DNA has not been working at capacity. It has been hampered, turned off. That we are going to a situation for humanity that is not bad, but it's unfamiliar. And we tend to, as a race and as individuals, resist change because it's uncomfortable. We kind of think it's bad or it's wrong. And that's not the case. So give yourself permission to accept any loving, benevolent upgrades or changes to your reality, to your body, to your mind. That as long as you say, I want the best possible outcome of positive intentions that are being done for the human race, for myself. And I talk to my physical body and say, get out of the way. If it's unfamiliar, that doesn't make it wrong. Check with higher self, see if it's been higher self approved. Ask our loving creator if this is energy that is being sent as a gift that I need to accept. And if so, let's get out of the way and let it happen. And let it happen beautifully and in full. Okay, it's 3:24. We are 9 minutes away from totality here in Presque Isle, Maine. I want to thank you for joining us. This is Laura's View and Tarot 2 doing an outdoor eclipse watch party. And I thank you so much for being here. And I love the metaphor involved with the eclipse, the totality and coming out of it. We are going from dark to light. For millennia, humanity was held back and stifled and kept from being able to work towards their potential. And that is changing. And we are part of that change. As the eclipse is progressing, when I started the watch here at 2:15, it was 59 degrees. Now, approaching totality, it has dropped to 51 degrees. That was why I layered up. I knew it was going to get cold. And the potential is that it could drop as much as 15 degrees during totality from that 59-degree start. Okay, looking for a thumb up. Just give me a thumbs up if the eclipse, the sun is visible in the background. Okay, it's a weird kind of a twilight light here as totality is approaching. Definitely an odd type of light, almost like when there's smoke-filled skies. If you've ever been in the path of some wildfires and you get kind of that, just a dusky type of light. So I'm not adding any artificial light. You are going to experience the eclipse in Presque Isle, Maine with me as it occurs. And that means that, yes, we're going to have a dark screen. And during totality, one more advisory about that. At 3:33, Presque Isle, Maine will be in totality for about 3 minutes and some seconds. And during that time, I do plan to just quietly picture the world the way I'm hoping it will be, the changes we're hoping and anticipating. And even though they might not be readily available to our naked eye or to appearances, that it happens as we hope. So, a few minutes after totality, I am going to read one other thing that I had to share, a newsletter from the ASETI organization. And that's about all that I had collected to share with you. And then as the totality abates and we go from dark to light, we'll check in with the tarot cards and ask, what changes, even if they're not readily apparent and easily seen, what changes have happened from the time the eclipse started and moving on. Okay, have a seagull that is overhead and he's making some noise, but so we haven't had that quietness that happens with a with any kind of an eclipse where you hear that it gets the birds and what have you. We don't have too much in the way of insects yet here in Caribou, Maine. There's still some snow on the ground. I did mention earlier that my cat, Alieska, all day long has been skittish. She knew something was going on. She's been diving under furniture at the least little noise or sound, and that's not usual for her. The only time she usually does is if there's a loud crash or we have several people over that she's not familiar with, she'll start off under the furniture. It is getting darker. Now I can read the comments finally. I was blind for the first hour. Oh. Yeah, it's getting dark and cold. Now, it's possible too, I'm noticing some of you saying that your animals weren't doing what Allie is. It's possible, first of all, that the energy's a little different here. Also, sometimes, and this is why I so appreciate people that take the time to pray and just put protective energy around me. Sometimes when we've had a live stream meditation, there have been attempts by, let's just say, energy to interfere, to reduce the effectiveness and the sharing of love and what have you that we have. So it's possible that there was some negative energy that's been directed towards me, and she could feel that. Now, did it work? No, it didn't. I'm well protected. And a lot of you folks that view and pray for me are part of that protection, and I do appreciate that very much. Okay, we're 3 minutes away from totality. It's getting more and more dusky here. Okay. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I will let you know when I'm starting that those minutes of silence. It'll be 2 minutes from now. Right before we get to 3:33, I can see the eclipse. The pinpoint is getting smaller and smaller, but it will be quiet. It will also be dark. Don't think you've lost the connection. You can confirm that by watching the chat box scroll because people will still be chatting. Okay, you should be feeling some marvelous energy and contribute to any marvelous, best possible outcome with yours if you want to. Or just go within and go, during this eclipse, here's what I hope for. Here's changes I hope to see. Now, I understand that Julie Green Ministries was talking about the eclipse recently, and her guest mentioned that it was going to be pivotal and significant, but it would take about 40 days because 40 days is how long it rained, that it won't be immediate, that it could be up to 40 minutes, 40 days before something is seen. Okay, we're 2 minutes away from totality. Again, don't think you've lost connection with me as long as the chat box is still doing some moving. So I'm going to trust you guys to just keep typing something, even if it's just a heart or what have you, just reassure people that it's really getting dark now. Really getting dark. How cool is this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I have neighbors that are out enjoying the eclipse on either side of me. So you may still hear some background noise. It's really getting dark. Okay, I'm going to get quiet in 3, 2, 1. The eclipse is absolutely beautiful. Amazing. Okay, totality is over. The light's coming back on and up. The light feels different than when it was getting dark. Just my impression here. Wow. Getting bright so fast. So beautiful. Okay. During totality, there were still birds calling. I heard crows. I heard some songbirds. So they didn't get quiet like you sometimes hear happens during or before an earthquake. They didn't have quite the same reaction among the our feathered friends. Okay. And this truly is a metaphor, folks. Our world is going from dark to light. Lots of crazy energy going on. Just tell your body if it's beneficial and it's for you, accept it. Okay? I'm seeing some people say they're feeling a little dizzy. That's okay. Just check in with your higher self or whoever your faith practice you direct your communications with, and just say if it's beneficial, if it's for me, help me to just accept it and enjoy it and assimilate it, and that'll get us that much more ready to help others that are a little slower getting to the point we're at. Dark to light, folks. This is what our world is. This is what our reality is. Reminded the song "The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades." Well, we did that today. Oh, we did. Okay. Thank you so much to those nameless, faceless people that worked so hard and gave so much to make sure that this was a safe experience for us, even a beneficial one. and not what evil had planned for us. This light is different than the light pre-eclipse. I can tell you that absolutely. Okay. We're slowly going from dark to light with our eclipse and our world and ourselves. Thank you so much, everybody that joined me. I know we have a lot of people that don't usually visit my channel. You're welcome here anytime you want. Uh, Laura's View and Tarot too. Um, I use cards as an intuitive aid. I don't channel, don't practice witchcraft. And we use the intuitive insights that the cards can provide when used prayerfully to check in on current events and situations with our world. And once a month, we hold a non-denominational meditation because I took it to heart that the very last post by the 17 team, the very last word and the last one they put up was ascension. And I truly think that that's what we're working towards as a human race, as a world, a plane of existence. I absolutely believe that. So we try to not just watch current events. And when we do watch, we try to kind of keep track of current events, but not give it our energy. So again, integral to what we do here at the channel is observing without absorbing. And I will frequently advise people, if you find yourself getting caught up in some of the predictions of fear for this global malady or this global situation or this volatile situation, if you can't just listen to the news and events about it dispassionately, unplug for a while. Because events are still going to unfold. We can't affect them just by knowing about them, but we can say, I'm not going to give my energy to this situation. Absolutely, we can do that. And we pick and choose who gets our energy and what form that energy takes. And if you need to unplug for a while and take a day off and do some of those things, I was disappointed to discover I'm doing this at the end of my driveway here in Presque Isle, Maine. I was hoping to be grounded, but I would have had to be on some pretty soggy ground to do that because grounding doesn't work with asphalt. And I didn't have any kind of a cement platform to do this on. So wasn't as grounded as I hoped. Darn it. Okay, in a few minutes here, as the sun returns, or a sun returns, who knows? We were supposed to have a shift. If we did, it was seamless and be in a 5D plane, which we're heading for anyway, even if it didn't happen this minute today. And hey, I want to go beyond 5. I think those numbers go to infinity, and yeah, so I'm willing to stop off at 4 and 5 and 6, but I want to go past that, and I want to end up in a place where there's not even a draw to have control over others or power over others. Um, just a willingness to just simply be, and not to need control and power to feel like you have worth and value. Yes, where we go one, we go all. I am very thankful that the sky was clear here in Presque Isle, Maine. I was really praying for it. I saw some chemtrails early this morning, and I was scared that we'd have that crisscross pattern and there'd be obscuring going on. But Whiteheart's had control in this area, and the skies cleared up really nicely. Again, I'm facing away from the eclipse. I can see the circle of light, which is the sun. So my eyes weren't in any kind of danger during this. I did turn around during the full totality, and that crescent was just absolutely amazing. So beautiful. And like I said, I'm noticing that this light, as the totality goes away, is it has a different feel to it. So you've been watching the Eclipse Watch Party with Laura at Laura's View and Tarot 2. And I thank you so much for joining us for this, and you're welcome to come back regularly. Subscribers are always appreciated and viewers are appreciated. And just understand, if you're not ready to have a positive focus in even world events, if you have a need to be a keyboard warrior and cause dissension, that's not the energy we're welcoming. Okay, you're welcome to be skeptical, especially regarding tarot. Absolutely, you can be skeptical about it. You can be non-committal. You can be analytical and go, well, that's not enough data for me to accept that viewpoint or thing. That's fine. But if you're deliberately trolling and causing problems, you're not going to be happy here for long. You won't be welcome either. uh, okay. Now, folks, at the start of this live stream, I did a tarot read and I asked the universe for insights and information about our plane of existence going into the eclipse. Now, I understand that there's still some places that are experiencing the eclipse, but it's not too early to do my follow-up read, and that is to ask the universe for insights and information about our world post-eclipse. Post-eclipse. And if you weren't here for the first read, it was really, really exceptional. And I've got it here because I'm going to use a different deck for the post one and get you some pictures. Where you'll be able to view the pictures, if you go to YouTube and Laura's View and Tarot 2, there is a tab called Community. It's not always available by phones, but by other devices it is. And in that one, I can write posts and include up to 5 pictures. So I will include, and I'll put the links of the things I've shared with you folks during this live stream so that you can follow those links. And it is not created yet, so don't get impatient. But I'll try to get that all up to you before the end of today so that it's available to you. But right now, the last 2 things I want to do during this live stream is to ask about insights and information about our world post-eclipse. I'm going to leave it that post, and I'm going to be real specific for this plane of existence, for this timeline, for this particular eclipse, insights and information about our world post-solar eclipse of 2024. Okay. I am being told that my battery is running low, and I should have been plugged in. Let me do a little checking. I'm going to take my headset off. I'll be right back. Okay, power problem is solved. Okay, the power problem has been solved. Yay. Okay, so I'm getting out my second deck, which I cleared the energy on it before they started. And I'm using a whiteboard for this one so that I didn't have to disturb the first card layout. Again, we're going to be asking for insights and information about this plane of existence post-eclipse. Since I did take my headset off briefly and fiddled with controls, I'm going to ask you folks to help me out. Give me a thumbs up if you still hear me and see me, okay? Thumbs up. Okay, I'm seeing a thumb up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So I am shuffling, and unlike usual, the cards are here. Folks, one of the things I do in my videos is I make sure you watch me always use the cards so you know that they totally are outside of my control as they come up. So it is truly, we are getting them divinely placed and set out. So the universe knows this will be a Kachina knife spread, and I'm going to be asking for insights and information about this plane of existence post-eclipse. It was really singular, the one I got for pre-eclipse. Absolutely. So I'm sorry that I'm having with one camera and it focused on the sun. I'm just going to have to ask you to, if you're skeptical, just disregard this next section. But I did shuffle the cards. I did divide them into 3. And now I will show you. Our question is being indicated with the 2 of Cups. Clarifying that, we have the 7 of Swords. Recent past card. We have King of Wands. So there were some actions going on during the eclipse. Okay. The current situation, beautiful. We got the 9 of Pentacles. Very positive type of card. The near future, we have the Fool, starting out in a new plane of existence. Guys, if they were trying to do a timeline shift or a some sort of a cosmic type shift, this is indicating that something of that nature has happened. Okay, now our strongest insight card, Ace of Cups. Next, we have the Hanged Man, looking at things in a new way. Guys, we are in a whole different place. Now, the next 4 cards are additional insights and information. They are for the near future. They are less insightful than the first 2, which again were the Ace of Cups and the Hanged Man. Those are pretty powerful right there. Okay, I'm getting my poster putty in place here so these don't blow off. Okay, so the first one of the additional 4 is the Hierophant, a major arcana, one that sometimes typifies the shenanigans gang, but more often it's the powers that want to be, okay? Good or bad. You know, trust me, I know what I'm doing. I'm from the government, I'm here to help. We have 4 cups for a little more information. Kind of working with the Hierophant. I'll give you some insights about that as we go. We have the 5 of Cups. It's falling right under the Hierophant card, so that's telling me the Shenanigans gang is not happy. Oh well. And 2 of Wands. Look, there he is. He's holding a little world, new world. Okay, so quite different than our before the eclipse outcome and possibilities. Okay, we were with the 2 of Cups. That is a card that indicates some agreement, some and a balanced agreement where there's no loser, there's no winner. It's a balanced agreement, and it is usually male and female. So what's this telling me is post eclipse, we are going to see a much better balance and alignment of divine feminine energy and divine masculine. Okay. Now the clarifying of that was the 8 of Swords, which is a card that tells us that There's some evidence that's available to you. First of all, it sometimes advises you to use your other senses besides just your vision. There is a blindfold involved with that card. And so the advice usually attendant to that is to use all your senses to view these changes and as events unfold to kind of understand what they mean as far as cosmic structure and what's going on. Recent past, we had the King of Wands. Now, this is back from the start of the eclipse on, and that was a card of vision and leadership. And so it does tell me that there were some activities happening during the eclipse, but they were ones that were beneficial. The current situation right now, as I'm making this video, is the Nine of Pentacles. And that is a card of prosperity and independence, strong divine mass, feminine energy. Just so it's a beautiful card to show up. It's there's no worries involved with that. The near future, we have the Fool. Remember, in tarot cards, the Fool isn't what you would think. It means that you're setting out on a new path, and sometimes it's a little bit of faith involved with it, but you're stepping out in faith and starting an exciting new journey, life path. It is the card labeled 0 on the tarot decks, and the tarot decks usually follow the life of this Fool, this person, this energy, a life with an outcome. So they have the good, the bad, just like us, and come out on the other side of it, hopefully a victor, wiser, ready to ascend and embrace lots of good light-filled possibilities. The Ace of Cups was showing up for our strongest advice card. And the Ace of Cups, anytime we have the ace, there's not really a way to read that negatively. And our Ace of Cups is going to talk about love and that there's lots of possibilities for contentment and new possibilities going on, which is also reinforced by that Two of Wands that we had, where there's that new world, new path. So definitely there is a new path that's been involved with this eclipse process. Absolutely. So that's our post-eclipse read. Now, the last thing I wanted to share with you was that newsletter from the ASETI organization. I thought it was pretty good this month. And while I'm doing that, of course, our sun in the background is going to be getting ever more evident, which means I won't be able to read the comments again. I'll be working blind like I was for the first hour. That's okay. We're on the home stretch here. Okay, ASETI News. This is newsletter dated April 4th, 2024. April 8th, solar eclipse, Baltimore Bridge, Taiwan earthquake, fall of the beast. It's been a while since the last newsletter. We have been very busy keeping up with the latest challenges and events. As we all know, the 46th administration and the weaponized agencies have been very busy taking down conservatives, churches, reporters, blogs, websites, all of which criticize the current administration, or 46's administration. There are also darker, unseen negative influences doing their part. We are not immune to this, although we have tools and connections that help in these matters. I do believe they will collapse under their own karma soon, and the cards do seem to verify that prediction on his part. Anything that does not align with universal law is imploding. We all hope sooner than later, due to the harm done to innocent people. We are witnessing the exposure and fall of the beast. There have been several major solar flares and CMEs, or coronal mass ejections. One recently hit the Earth on Tuesday and Wednesday, yet the gamma and X-rays hit earlier. Those sensitive feel the earlier, higher frequency waves. The Schumann resonance is all over the place, although we sound like a broken record. Expect changes on every level. And we did check in during this live stream on the Schumann resonance, which was surprisingly calm. So was the site that monitors the sun, soul24.net. Okay, continuing with the newsletter. The recent Taiwan earthquake was a result of this, the Schumann resonance ups and downs and energy flows is what he's talking about. There will be major storms, quakes, volcanic eruptions to come. In meditation, I saw a huge cloud, a massive storm, which could have several meanings. Storms bring about great changes. I saw Africa going through intense changes on every level, social, political, followed by massive visible storms and earthquakes, some natural, some generated. Major battles on many levels are waging in Africa, mainly due to their abundant resources. Speaking of unnatural disasters, allegedly the Baltimore Bridge had $1 trillion insurance policy by, drumroll, wait for it, Silverstein. Yes, the same Silverstein that triple insured the Twin Towers. Need I say more? This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar loss. Farmers will have trouble getting fertilizers, farm equipment, exports of natural gas and coal will not get out to Europe. There are major consequences in the collapse of the bridge, which they are making a racist event. When the race card and environment card is played, we can rest assured the black hats are behind it. Follow the money, take no notice of the last name. If you do, you are anti Semitic. The eclipse on April 8th has so many possibilities unfolding. CERN is activating, which always seems to turn out bad due to their alignment with darker forces. NASA also is shooting serpentine rockets at the moon. I am sure they are going to do heavy chemtrailing with ungodly chemicals, heavy metals, and biologicals. And again, even during this live stream, I heard people talking about heavy chemtrail activity in their location. Back to the newsletter. States along the eclipse line are calling for a state of emergency and telling people to store up to 2 weeks of food and water. There is major planetary alignment, signaling great changes on every level. The Dark Hearts, or Cabal, have their plans, which are going to clash with the White Hats, who, according to many, have this all under control. Like the blind man said, we will see. According to Tucker Carlson, the old guard is crashing and a new guard is taking its place. He is someone in the know we can trust. I agree. Tucker Carlson is a 2.0, but he is a trustworthy 2.0. We all have to do our part. We cannot expect others to save us. Best advice I can give is to prepare on every level, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Stop serving the beast. Your connection to the beast will determine the consequences when it falls. There is a plan. It is God slash creator slash great spirits plan. It is multidimensional and it is unfolding. We need to pray and meditate for divine intervention, not just masters, saints, and sages, but benevolent offworlders as well. They have transcended war, disease, poverty, and are waiting for the invitation. We need to invite the benevolent, beautiful, many to assist us in our transition. We are going to need all the help we can get. It's go time. Godspeed, James Gilliant. Okay, now one final note from me on that. It is not only okay, it is advised. We are told that benevolent off-world help is available to us, but we have to ask for it. And I belong to the What Can It Hurt Club. What can it hurt to ask? So I frequently stop and think of the things I want, whether I want the rollout of healing technologies for safety, for life in the sea, for cleanup of oceans, for whatever I want. I just say I am asking for divine and off-world help in the following situation or earth situation. I welcome it, I ask for it, I seek it. Then they have the invitation. So I would ask, if you're so inclined and it feels like something you would like to do that also. Ask for benign and benevolent, off-world and divine help with situations that are going on in our world. Let's make sure that everything that needs some cleanup, that needs some correction, that needs some updating or ascension energy or whatever, is invited to help us. If you're so inclined, please do so. I also say, and I'm asking for divine and off world help. And the benevolent help that is not of God, I want it to be approved or vetted by Him. And yes, I use some of the traditional names for our living Creator. It's who I am, and He knows, He or she, it knows who I'm speaking to. Again, I go to the top, and then if He wants to delegate it to others, that's fine. But yeah, I go to the top. So invite that benevolent help, invite it and welcome it to help us to clean up this plane of existence, to firmly set our path on an ascension path, to have healing technologies and energy technologies unfold and available to everyone for former power structures and for evil to lose their foothold, their space, even their place in our realm. And yeah, I see Caroline mention the word chemtrails. Here's something I do about those. I would like to believe, I do believe that they've been cleaned up a lot, but I do believe that there are places where their intent is not good. You can see that by the results, that instead of having healthier, brighter trees and shrubbery and people are feeling sick from them, or they start coughing when they're out in them. So take the time to ask that anything that's being added to our atmosphere, if it's not intended for good, for healing, for cleanup, that it be transmuted so that it is at a minimum neutral and possibly even beneficial. If we can be created, this entire plane of existence can be created. It is nothing to have some elements that are being sprayed, such a small percentage of the totality here, to have it be transmuted. Okay, it is 4:04. I am going to just leave this running till 4:15. Let me see if, here we go, a little more me and a little, still want that sun showing up in the background. Melody C says there's a chemtrail with one behind me. I'm not seeing it, but I couldn't turn completely around. So for 10 more minutes, we will enjoy the sun coming back to post-eclipse full light status. It's gone now. You guys did that. It was something and it's gone now. It might have been. It's funny though that it's happening so far after the totality. It might have been one of them. Silver Blitz. Yeah, I was very gratified to see that we had so many people show up and be part of this. Yeah, I'm just only the top of me is here. I'm wearing a headset because I didn't want, I wanted the best possible, even if I turned my head. I didn't want you to lose the volume. Yeah, anytime you see activity in the sky, just say you want it to be beneficial or gone. So if the intent was not one of healing and well-being for life on our plane of existence, clean it up so it is. Again, we're in the final moments of the watch party for Laura's View in Tarot 2. My name's Laura, and I'm deliberately not a big part of this in the frame here because we were watching the eclipse, and appreciate that you took the time out to view the eclipse with us, and hopefully provided some, if you felt so inclined, invited some energy and provided some for best possible outcomes, because we know that there were hopes to harvest some fear and loosh activity and things like that. And I was blessed to live somewhere that had clear skies, so I'm sharing them with you. I do, besides getting that post again, I will post pictures of the 2 tarot reads I did and label them before the eclipse and after the eclipse. Both of them were just asking for insights and information about our world at that point in time. So I will try to get those up tonight, and I'll include some of the links I read from during the eclipse. You'll be able to find that by going to Laura's View and Tarot 2 and click on the community tab. That's where posts can be written, and I can include up to 5 pictures. So I will have those for you, and you can see what we were talking about during it. Again, if you're new to the channel and you are interested, several times each week we do a current events type of focus on based on events that are happening in the news that day or things I've gotten curious about as I read across numerous platforms. The tarot reads that I do that involve current events, I try to provide some information and data. Now, understand, YouTube is not an open platform. I'm not allowed always to share some of the links I want to. So the workaround I've come up with over the years is I create a Facebook post that has the items that I'll be using for data, links to share, etc. on my Facebook post. And YouTube does allow Facebook as a link. So that will take you to my Facebook page and the post, and you can look at the links that way, because it's just the reality to stay on YouTube in this complicated world. That's how I've had to do it. It's not that I wanted traffic on my page. By the way, I'm heavily shadow banned on YouTube. You can't find me even by my name. Add in Presque Isle, Maine, you're still not going to find me. I'm heavily shadow banned. The one way to find my channel is to click on the Facebook link that's in the video description box for the vast majority of the videos I do. And at that point, you can choose to follow me because I'm shadow banned. So I'm hard to find, and my content's at the bottom of the feed. And that's just the way it is. No problem. It's 4:10 p.m. I'm going to keep this going for another 5 minutes as totality is going away. And thank you for joining me. I've seen that people are from all over the planet. This is really cool. Someday I want to have someone say, coming at you from Antarctica. Hey, they've got those scientific things down there. Yeah, I'm in Maine, in the USA, specifically Presque Isle, Maine, and it is 4:11 in the afternoon here. Thank you for being part of this live stream. Very much appreciated. Now, I do have the settings for this live stream to have live chat replay. If you aren't familiar with live chat replay, it does take a while to show up. So this entire watch party will be immediately available to view on Laura's View and Tarot 2 under the live link, but it will be several hours before the chat that happened during the live stream is added to the video. I don't know why. They also will probably add some ads that I have no control over that. I used to. I could specify no ads during a live stream, but now the only time they let me veto midstream ads is in my own personal videos. It is what it is. going to get in the picture a little more as I wish you, again, thank you for joining me. This is Laura with Laura's View and Tarot 2. Appreciate you very, very much. Again, the 2 tarot reads I did at the start and end of this live stream, I have got the cards puttied down in their original locations, and you will be able to view those for your information or edification on the in a post under the community link later today. And I apologize that you weren't able to see me do the shuffling. I was working with one webcam from my laptop and limited, but normally I always switch the camera, let you watch me work with the cards. I want to just have everybody just know there's absolute clarity with what I do and transparency. So, and one last time, if you're new to the thought of using tarot cards as an intuitive aid, that's how I use them, is as an intuitive aid. I don't channel, I don't practice witchcraft. My grandmother was from Nova Scotia, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and she read tea leaves. And she passed away before she could show me how she did it, the minutia about it. So the tarot cards were something that I could use to access a little of the inherited intuitive skills that I got from her. And so I use the cards that way and just ask for insights. And the only energy that's ever invited or welcome or given any consent to during my use of tarot cards is our loving creator, the ultimate source, whatever you want to call that energy, creator of all creators, if you will, and my higher self. So again, not traditional channeling like some people do. And I do that because I have a faith practice and a belief system that's very strong and works for me. And I think it works for me. I'll just leave it at that. And I don't want to ever use energy in a way that would be displeasing. Sue, I saw that you just said we've been with you long enough, Laura. We all trust you. Yes, but there's some people that are brand new that just subscribed today. So they needed a little Laura's View and Tarot 2 101. Oh. And it is now 4:15 in the afternoon here in Presque Isle, Maine. This is Laura with Laura's View and Tarot 2. If you're willing to receive it, I'm a conduit, so there's absolutely no limit to how many can receive this. But if you'd like it, I wish you love and light and everything bright. Close your eyes and just feel a little white light going around you. And maybe if you ever enjoyed hugs from a chubby grandma, maybe some herbs going around you. But just know that you're worth it. Okay? Our Creator doesn't make junk. So accept that you're special and you're worth it. I'm going to end the stream. And by the way, if you're still trying to type something and it doesn't get up, go ahead and add it to the comments. It will be under the live stream tab. Okay, so you can keep the conversation going or put something. I promise you I will be reading these comments from the start of the watch party and then on down into the comments where this lands on my YouTube page. Okay, so we're ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.